So let's go with the recap. So basically what we've seen today is that the software that drives the wikis is called MediaWiki. And once you install one MediaWiki, you have an instance. In a wiki, which is an instance of a wiki, you have many namespaces. Some are commons to all wikis. Like file, special, category, template. And some of them actually have their name that changes depending on the language of the wiki. So in Wikipedia, French category is written in French. You can also add extension to your wiki. In part one, we've seen that Wiki Commons shared files in the file namespace. So every file you upload to Wiki Commons get a page into the file namespace. Templates are very, very important in Wikidata, as they enable to change the way the data is stored to, and actually change the way the data is displayed when it's stored. And it's also templates enable to have small chunks of data to be assigned to the good properties. Files are pages that contain a file. Category are a way to link many pages together. So and gallery serves the same purpose, but gallery is actually human built or custom built. Is that categories get automatically added when you assign a page to a category, but in a gallery, the item you want in the gallery has to be manually added. So there's no automation in galleries. Now, for the part two of the workshop number 4, we've seen that the OTRs is the system that the Wikimedia Foundation used to manage licensing issues of the material uploaded. So you're going to have a communication with an OTRs when you want to assert, to confirm that you have the full rights on the document. You'll send your authorization through email. We've seen that there are 3 big choices for a license. So either it's CC0, which is public domain, either it's CC BY, so attribution. When the picture is reused by someone else, it has to be given the attribution. It has to be stated who has done this work. And there's a share alike, which forced the people that reuse your material to share it again with the same license, or actually a license that at least gives as many options as the one you chose. Part 4. So we've seen that in part 4 that in Wikidata we can add, there's properties which use image as value. So you have the image property, which is the most general, and we have the logo property, which is a particular image which represents the logo type of a company, of a special show. So we also seen that we have 3 other declaration statements we can do in Wikidata about Wiki Commons. So we can put a link to a gallery, we can put a link to a category page, or we can put a link to a creator page. So this is basically part 3. And part 4, we've seen that structured data, which is also called media info, is kind of a Wikidata inside Wiki Commons, but just about the description of the picture. And we've seen also that structured data is used to define the content of, to define or describe the content of a document. It's not general information about the topic described by the image. This is really, really something that goes into Wikidata. So structured data is really about describing the document you have put on Wiki Commons. So basically, this is the end of the recapitulation. So Frédéric, I believe at this point we might receive a general question about the workshop.
Sure. So are there further questions from Antoine about today's workshops or about anything else related to Wikidata? And while you type in your questions or unmute, I will go with the first one. Let's say I've got a Wikidata item with a photo of a person, but that photo is now like 20 years old, and I've got a newer ones that I could upload to Wikimedia and make available on Wikidata as well. How many photos should I put in a Wikidata item? Should I really remove the previous one and only leave the most recent ones? How should I deal with that?
I would not remove a picture that is assigned in Wikidata, because if the picture was put there in the first place, it was relevant information. So you don't need to restrain the number of picture that has a single Wikidata item. But of course, you would put like retrieve date, which is of course more recent. So there's a way that Wikidata can know this picture is more recent, but I would not remove a picture unless they're images, unless there's a lot of them, and then, but you, it's a trick question, Frédéric, you ask me.
It's a tricky one, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen in real cases. We have a question from Annalise, but I'm seeing that Sandra has her camera turned on, so she may have a question as well. We'll begin with Annalise. She asked, what if the person who took the picture has died?
Oh, this is interesting. Well, it's actually a legal question more than a technical question, but you're very lucky if the person has died like more than 50 years ago. This is perfect, because if someone dies, it's been 50 years since he's died, all his work, and I'm not 100% sure of the laws here, but this I know these laws evolve. I know that the ALENA was changed recently by Trump, and the new one, I think there was something that changing the 50 years to 70 years. So what I'm going to give you is a general advice, and you need to consult a lawyer to have the particular information. But basically, if the person has died more than 50 years ago, his work, the copyrights is
public domain.
In public domain, so that you have no restriction for that. So that is great when people have died a long time ago. No, when it's not long, it's not good. Does that answer your question, Frédéric?
There was a question from
Annalise,
and she's answered with an emoji that I cannot read. So
it's a smiley.
Smiley.
Okay, it's a smiley.
And
okay, it's not displaying on my computer. So we're good. Sandra, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's just a general question about not shows, but a dance company. So I know like all the workshops are going to finish this winter, but I'm trying to do stuff now because I have time now. So I have a page that is in French only, and I'd like to make the English translation of it in Wikipedia.
Okay.
So I understand that you said we use Wikidata to do translations so they can be linked, right?
Actually, Wikidata will link the French and English version.
Okay.
But the French version is in the French Wikipedia and the English version is the English Wikipedia, but Wikidata knows that the two are related. Yes.
So where do I do my English version? I do a new English version and then Wikidata is going to link them, or?
Yes, actually, there are tools for that, but this is not about Wikidata in itself, but there are tools. Can you put in the chat the link to your?
Well, I can give you the name because I'm on my iPad, so it's
Okay.
Sinadance, S-I-N-H.
And it exists in French, right?
Yeah, only in French.
So
I-N-H-A. Dance, D-I-N-S-E.
Space or
No,
no
not
space?
that I know of. I never typed it directly. Oh yeah, there's a space.
S-I-N-H space dance.
Okay, because last time I went into Wikidata and I translated the title of the page in English, so I thought that's how I had to do it, but
No, you have to create a new Wikipedia item in English, because we talked about different instances of media wikis in the large Wikimedia Foundation ecosystem, and each Wikipedia is a different instance. So the English Wikipedia and the French Wikipedia and the Chinese, they're all different instances. They can be linked via Wikidata, and the Wikidata information can be used in each one, for example, to fill in the info box about the Wikipedia article. However, they are distinct items.
Okay, so I'm gonna link them after in Wikidata.
Yep.
When I have my article
but
number.
It sounds like Antoine has a few tricks, and but there are also other tricks. There are ways to automatically create a short Wikipedia article that will have only the info box.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do now, because I realized that by January I'm gonna have many more tasks to do about Wikidata and Pedia and Media Commons and all of that.
But unfortunately, info boxes are not part of this workshop series. But eventually, in the next year, Antoine and Veronique and André, that would be something that we should talk about. How do we use info boxes in Wikipedias?
Absolutely.
Yes, and there's also a translation tool which facilitates the translation from one language in a Wikipedia in one language to a Wikipedia in another language. But it's beyond the scope of this workshop or even this year's series of workshop. But this is a tool that helps you very much, and it's used a lot in the Wikimedia project, because what is good about this tool, translation tools, is that it translates paragraph through paragraph, and so you can do a translation like not in one step, but on a given period of time. And also, if the original changes, like this translation tools see that it has changed, and it will ask you, well, the original has changed, do you want to accommodate your translation? So this tool of translation is very, very useful, but it's really it doesn't touch at all Wikidata, so I'm not prepared to explain that to you, but
perfect, I'll look it up, it's fine.
Antoine, I took the link to the Sinadance Wikipedia page, and it's interesting when you see we can find it in French. And it's interesting to see what Wikidata elements on the left, on the column on the left, and we can see the related link in the Wikidata.
Yes, and oops. And I think here, if you go into English, you see, if you go into English, it says this page doesn't exist in English. Would you like to create it? And then say translate from original to English, and then you see you'll be able to translate each paragraph autonomously, and it will give a follow-up, and people can also work together, so people can translate one paragraph and you another one, and so it's a great tool to do translation, Sandra. So basically you just have to go into the language, and you see it doesn't exist in English yet. So instead, it offers you to translate this page in English, and same for other languages. So I can translate this in Russian or Spanish.